Well, Jess, another great podcast, another great guest, and Jennifer, a good friend of ours, says first and foremost, look, we have to acknowledge the path is harder for women. And then COVID hit. There's a lot going on that we have to be more aware of the women in our lives and what they're facing as they try to rise in the corporate world.
You know, it's so interesting. When COVID hit, I think we were all just thrown for such a loop that we weren't paying as much attention to the nuances and so on.
Yeah.
If you were a woman, you were.
Yeah.
And, we were negligent in all of that. But that first, second, and third shift, the realization that women in the office were doing a lot more. And then when everything shifted back to the home, that burden became even greater. Were we appreciative of that? She talked about the upside as well, that that awareness was heightened. And all of a sudden people thought, hey, this is a bigger deal than we thought. I was so engaged around the inner voice.
Yeah.
I thought, I've done a lot of thinking about that. You and I have talked a lot about that. I'd never talked about how that inner voice impacted your outward, your attitude and the way you interact with people and so on. That inside out voice, that what you think about drives what you say and what you do. Now, I've often thought of that, but I haven't thought about that negative voice being such a strong driver. So I so appreciated her coaching me up on that.
Yeah, no, it's great. And what is that inner voice telling us? You're not good enough. You're not ready. You shouldn't. And so what do we do to turn that around? I like the 4 steps. First off, be aware. This is happening. It's okay. Our inner voice is there. We're not going to shut it off, but we can turn it down. You pause and reflect. You're more compassionate with yourself, or if there's others involved, and you're more curious. Talking about your fears. You can't just, it's very easy to say, well, I'm just going to turn the narrative into a positive. I'm ready. That's easier said than done sometimes. But what we can be is compassionate and curious and see how we can move forward. So I thought that was just terrific.
Yeah, I didn't realize, in all her research and all her data, and she's very data driven and a great researcher, right? Is this idea how quickly women lose their confidence, that it starts in middle school or pre-middle school, she said, and you don't get it back until your 30s. That, wow, that's a long time to be feeling diminished and not ready and so on.
And we hear that with men. Men will apply for a job even if they're only 20% qualified, where women won't apply if they're 80% qualified.
Yeah, or 120% qualified, overqualified. Yeah. Just ask, what the heck, we're such knuckleheads. I appreciated her support networks, when she says how I take care of myself. She's in all these different networks, whether it's the 100 Coaches support group or Connect group, and the Wine Mamas and her tennis group, and on and on. And then, of course, communing with nature. We've heard that so many times, taking time to just go to the mountains, go skiing, and go for a hike, go for a swim, whatever it might be. I'm a big fan of that spiritual connection.
I saw this is probably the heart of what she talked about, the 3 highest hurdles for women right now. First off, proving your value over and over. And as she says, then just hoping somebody notices.
Right.
And I deal with this in the coaching. I'm coaching somebody right now who doesn't brag on themselves. That's as I'm hearing in the 360s. Nobody else is going to brag on for you. I loved your story of, your boss who says, they know who I am. No, They're worried about their own stuff. So prove your own value, but then brag on it. Secondly, be clear about your aspirations. What a important concept. And finally, as you said too, make the ask.
Yeah. Clarity. That came out time and time again. And I'm sure that's, and she said, that's the one takeaway I want you to have. Be clear about your aspirations and then go for it. Well, we have wonderful people that support us in our network, don't we? Brent Klein, our wonderful producer that takes it all and makes it digestible and interesting and hopefully more listenable than the original. Christy Lawrence, who finds all our amazing guests, and to all of you who listen in that have taken time. You could be doing a lot of things with your time, and you took the time to listen to our podcast. For that, we are very grateful. If you liked it, share it with your friends and family. We hope that these are ideas that will help people tamp down their anxiety and create a better life at work and at home. And we'd love you to visit thecultureworks.com. We've got all kinds of free resources there to help you and your team thrive.
We certainly do, and we love speaking to audiences around the world, virtually or in person, on the topics of resilience, teamwork, culture, leadership. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about your event. So, until next time, Jess, I'm going to give you the last word. We want to thank everybody for joining us today.
Yeah, just listen, be good to yourself. Make your inner voice your best friend and go out and do something fun today. Lower your anxiety, be of service, commune with nature, whatever it might be. That's our hope for you today. Take care, and we hope to see you again next time. Cheers.